Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. Let's talk today about beliefs. Now, I've done quite a few videos on beliefs, so know that this one will be different. If you want to understand why beliefs are so important or how to identify beliefs, definitely do a search on my channel. There's plenty of information about that out there. Today, I want to talk about shifting beliefs. So, even just identifying the beliefs, your limiting beliefs, or even your core beliefs in general can be challenging, but it is the the most important or the most critical step in shifting your life, in going from where you are to where you want to go. It is the foundation of your manifestations. It is the foundation of everything that you see in your current life. Everything stems from your beliefs. So it is critically important that we understand how to identify them and then how to change them. Now, many times the recommendation will be just choose. Just choose to shift them. If I have this belief that the world is not safe and I'm told to just choose that I'm going to now believe that the world is safe, that is a little bit unfair. That we can make a choice, and some of our beliefs will shift that easily. But many times, especially if you're dealing with complex trauma, if you felt unsafe, unseen, unheard, uncared for, or unloved for an extended period of time at any point in your life, you're likely going to struggle to just choose to shift that new belief. Now, if you have experienced any of those situations, if you identify as having either complex trauma or just that unworthiness wound, or you've seen these self-sabotaging behaviors, it seems like you've got this glass ceiling above your head where you can't quite move into your dreams, your desires, you can't quite make things happen even though you know at a prefrontal cortex level what you need to do. Somehow that subconscious brain seems to self-sabotage every time. In fact, the subconscious brain will override the conscious brain more often than not. So if you struggle with those things, if it is difficult for you to shift your core beliefs with just the choose method, then this video is for you. So very often, like I should preface this conversation with, or what I was kind of getting to there was that if you have felt those limitations, if you identify with any of those things that I just said, you're going to need to seek out somatic therapy. So I do brain spotting. That's what I offer my clients. EMDR also works, but it's not something that can be resolved from the level of thinking, which means talk therapy alone is not going to be enough. And that can be why we feel like we're hitting our head against this brick wall, continuing to do similar things over and over, expecting a different result and not ever seeming to get anywhere, by the way, which is the definition of crazy. So we want to stop doing the same things over and over and acknowledge that something's not working, that we need to do something different. So definitely reach out if you need assistance with healing complex trauma or brain spotting or somatic therapy. Now, if you are already getting that support or you are working solely on the belief shifting, then this is going to help you. So we need to, instead of expecting ourselves to go from the world is not safe all the way over to the other side, the world is safe, we need sort of bridge beliefs. We need to step into it. We need to baby step into it. And this is going to require your one, self-honesty, and two, an intimate connection with your body. So we need to understand when we are in alignment with a belief. So and this is why people say affirmations don't work, because you can sit there and tell me the sky is purple all day long, but that is not going to make me believe it. And that's how the brain feels when you sit there and say, I don't think that the world is a safe place, and you continue to tell yourself the world is safe, the world is safe, the world is safe. It doesn't work. The brain's like, yeah, right, you're lying to me. So we need these bridge beliefs, just like I talk about bridge manifestations. We can't go from 0 to 60 all in one step. We have to take step by step towards the goal. And so that would require a bridge belief. So instead of saying the world is safe, let's start with I'm safe right here, right now, in my body, in this chair, in my home, alone. Because that oftentimes can be difficult for a person who believes the world is not safe to believe. And maybe it's not even in my own home, maybe it's just in this chair, or maybe it's just in my body. And so what we're looking for is that alignment with your body, where your body can say, okay, yes, I can get behind this belief. And then we just cultivate that practice of feeling comfortable in our body, in this moment, in this chair. And we need to be able to get behind that. And so you'll notice, try some things on. identify what your limiting core belief is. Now, the five key factors that I listed: did you feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, and loved as a child, or at any point in your life? If you had a toxic relationship later in life and you didn't feel those things, this can also create that unworthiness wound or that complex trauma. So if you go through that checklist and you say, yeah, I feel safe, but I don't feel seen, or I don't feel heard, or I didn't feel loved, or I didn't feel cared for, then look behind that for the core belief that you have carried with you to support that initial experience. So if you don't feel safe in the world, somewhere along the way you experienced something that didn't make you feel safe. And the brain adopted that belief to say, okay, the way we stay safe in the world, especially going forward throughout the rest of my life, is to recognize the entire world is unsafe, and therefore I must remain hyper vigilant and always looking out for the next shoe to drop, the next thing that's going to happen, the next disappointment, the next experience of pain. And we begin to project that out because our beliefs are our foundation. Our foundation of beliefs is where everything is created from. So I will repeat things that are important. If you follow me, you understand the importance of this. You are a creator. You are manifesting all the time. One of our primary functions as human beings here on planet Earth is to create and to manifest. If you don't realize that you are manifesting, that means you're manifesting on autopilot from your subconscious, which is likely coming from either limiting or unresourceful beliefs. So that's where we need to get intimate with what is it that I believe, because everything that you create comes from your beliefs. Everything that you are experiencing in your life right now is coming from your beliefs. Now, it may be 2 or 3 steps removed, but ultimately at the end of the day, that experience comes from a chain of events that happened or were put into motion by your beliefs. So again, I'll reiterate, the beliefs are your foundation, and I'll run through the process of manifestation so you can understand why that is. So from everything that we believe comes the thoughts that we choose. The thoughts that we choose create an image or a picture in the mind. The mind has to reflect in chemistry the picture that you have chosen to give it. So if your belief is the world is unsafe, the mind is flooding the body with stress hormones. Stress hormones are very acidic. It puts you in a fight, flight, fawn, freeze response. So you are in a sympathetic nervous system state, which is highly, again, detrimental to the body. That means that you have shut off your rest and digest, your growth and repair. That means that you are in a frequency or a vibration of it's not safe, it's not safe, it's not safe, it's not safe. And this can sound woo-woo, but actually it's very much based in science. That we are electromagnetic beings, we are constantly vibrating, we have a frequency, it emanates out from our body. They measured up to 20 feet at one point, but that device was limited to measuring only 20 feet. So we really don't know exactly how far that can go. Now I'll say that when we restrict and we pull in, that can be smaller. But regardless, the point is when you are in proximity to someone, they feel that. You are emanating a frequency and a vibration all the time. And if you've ever walked into a room and you clashed with somebody and you said, I just don't like their energy, you're on different frequencies, you're on different wavelengths. So it's kind of like a clash. Maybe theirs is going big and high and yours is going small and low, and you clash against each other and it just doesn't feel right, right? That person gives me the creeps, something like that. Versus when you are on the same wavelength as somebody, you jive and your energies mesh and meld very easily. So all of that to say that we cannot deny the fact that we are emanating a vibration and frequency. We cannot deny the fact that it is impacted by the chemistry that floods the body. So to reiterate what I started to explain, there is your beliefs, create your thoughts, create your chemistry, creates the emotions, the things you feel. Your emotion is energy in motion. That is your frequency and vibration. You then attract to you because we are electromagnetic, which means we are drawing to us. We then draw to us what is a frequency match. So if you have all of these limiting beliefs, that is how you're creating these experiences. You're drawing them to you. And so it might start with, missing the bus and then being late to work and then getting fired and then not being able to get a job and then falling on your knee and breaking your leg and then being disabled. And right. So there's a chain of events that will eventually lead to the situation that you are living. And that can sound frustrating for people. I don't want to be responsible for everything. I want to blame everybody else because then it means it's not my job to fix it. But that's where the problem lies. That if you give your power to everybody else to have this authority over you, to have this control over your life, you don't have the power to shift and change it. And while it may seem scary and daunting and frustrating that I have to own the fact that I am in control of my life and I do have responsibility to say, okay, I can shift and change this. That is the number one, first and foremost belief that will shift and change your entire life. As soon as you say, I have some control, then that's the first belief that you have shifted and changed. And then from there, we can start to look at what is the next bridge belief that I need to choose to get to that next step. So try on the different versions of the belief. Try to imagine that you are, I'll use my brain spotting magic wand as it's been called. Imagine that you are looking at this point from this angle. And every angle that you choose to shift and move around this point is going to give you a different vantage point, right? It looks a whole lot bigger here than it does out here. That's a shift in perspective. That's a shift in belief. So how we choose to see something, see if you can identify a limiting belief and then dance around it. Find all of these different ways that you can choose to perceive it that eventually will lead to a positive, resourceful, helpful, empowering belief. That's how we start to try on new versions of the belief. We find those little micro variations, those micro baby steps towards the thing that we need to believe. So I may feel that the world is unsafe, and I may know that I need to have the belief that the world is safe. And now it's my job to find all of the little baby steps that will get me to that belief. Look for the alignment in your body. Like I said earlier, what you're looking for is that it's kind of a cringe, it's kind of a resistance, a tightening, a recoil feeling when either one, it's not true, or two, you cannot wrap your head around it, you can't believe it. There's resistance in the body. You feel that kind of like, it doesn't resonate for me. I can't quite, it's just a bridge too far, right? Look for that full body yes. I am safe in my body in my chair right now. Yes, I feel that. I know that at a core cellular level, my body says yes. And then take the next step. I'm safe in my body, in this chair, in this room. Yes, okay, I can get behind that. Look for the space in between. So if I move from I'm safe in my body, in this chair, in this room, in this house, but I don't necessarily feel safe in this neighborhood, that's where the work is to be done. That's where we need to find those little micro variations, that little shift in perspective that says, you know what? That neighbor's safe, and that neighbor's safe, and that neighbor's safe. So I'm not quite sure what's over there. Let's go look at that and really dig into the brain's trying to keep you safe because it has a lack of information, has a lack of evidence. So the more evidence that we can offer, if I go over there, I introduce myself to these people, oh, I realize they have kids my kids' age, they're really nice. All those loud noises I heard over there, they're actually just having a grill out, right? And so I provide myself the necessary steps towards, or the incremental pieces of information to start to wrap my head around, hey, maybe they're safe too. Maybe I'm safe in my neighborhood, right? And you can try that on and play with that and work with it, massage it until you feel that full body. Yeah, okay, I'm good here. All right, and then we can take a step out. I'm not only safe in my body, in this chair, in this room, in this house, in this neighborhood, I'm safe in my town, in my community. And then if you can't get behind that, look, right? Look all the way around, figure out where the access point is to the disbelief, provide baby steps towards proving that wrong, and then shift into the next level. Okay. You will feel the resonance at a core cellular level. Your body is like a tuning fork. It's like a Tesla tower. It's highly, highly intelligent. The brain is often the last to know. The body is very intelligent. So work with the body in determining, am I aligned to this belief? Can I really get behind it? And if not, where's the space in between? Where do I find the area that I need to move towards to gain alignment? It is also helpful to know that there is 10 times the amount of information going from the gut to the brain than there is from the brain to the gut. So again, just reiterating, trust the body. The body is there for you. It is your best friend. It is your best asset and resource. This whole being of our whole body is like a library. We use this much of it 90% of the time, and we forget about all of this. So we want to get back into the body. Watch how it regulates our entire nervous system, our entire being is loved and held and nurtured. Like a mother would nurture her child, your body holds your soul. Okay. I love you guys. Please do make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you have any blocks that are holding you back, especially if you relate to complex trauma or the unworthiness wound, I do offer free 30-minute sessions. There's a link below. In 30 minutes or less, I can get at one of the most core root blocks or root traumas or root issues in your life, whatever you want to call it, doesn't really matter. And then we'll do a little bit of brain spotting to help move that out and jumpstart your journey. So I would love to connect with you. Thank you to all of you who do sign up for the sessions. I absolutely feel so honored and blessed, and I love every second of meeting you in person and connecting with you live. So, all right, please do make sure you like, subscribe, and share. If you have not yet already, click this button to subscribe and connect with your soul family, because we are all part of the soul family. Otherwise, this video is curated just for you, and I will see you on the other side. Namaste, my friends.